Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to part 2 of the Operation 5 Tour Duty Medals guide here. The first part, we talked about the basic medals, bare your teeth and take cover or die um, medal groups. Today, we're going to be doing the weapons, escape, and horde. And then for part 3, we'll be doing the versus, the ranked, the versus events, and then the Thanksgiving and classic horde medal groups. So let's get started here. Alrighty, moving on to the weapons category. There's 6 medals in here for 2,000 coins once you complete all of them. First one is Scorcher Carnage. It says deal 100,000 damage with the Scorcher. Quickest way to do this is to go into Horde on beginner, drop the fab, buy the Scorcher, and just go to town. I would prefer Horde Frenzy, Wave 1, or maybe even Wave 2 or 3, so you have more than enough money to buy the Scorchers. Wave 1 is fine, you spawn with 10,000 power. Buy the Scorcher. Overload's a great map, just drop the fab where it is. And 100,000 damage shouldn't take very long. With Horde Frenzy, you get plenty of enemies on Wave 1. You probably can get in that first wave or 2. For 5 stars. Enforcer body count says get 100 eliminations with the Enforcer. For 4 stars. Best classes to use for this are the Pilot class, because they have an Enforcer card that does more damage, aka Lizzie's old class. That's what I used. You could also use the Mechanic / Dell class. Also have extra damage with DB weapons to grind that out for 4 stars. Bolt Talk body count, get 50 eliminations of the Bolt Talk for 3 stars. Max new class, the Anchor, is great for this. I believe the bleed damage from the Bolt Talk does not count, so you may want to take the Bloody Shot off and just hopefully you pull Amagos and you just one-shot them, headshot them with the Bolt Talk. Leeches, Jubies, take them out one shot on beginner, and you can get rid of them very easily doing that. Tri-shot body count, it says get 100 eliminations with a tri-shot. Clayton's class is good for this. Really anybody, if you're just doing beginner horde, you can just grind that out, buy the tri-shot from the fab, and get the kills quickly that way. Lancer GL body count, get 100 eliminations on Lancer GL for 5 stars. Quickest way to do this was to bring the Demolitions class, which was JD's old class, or new class I should say, and then run the Lancer GL Mastery cards and the custom Lancer GL. Pair those cards together so you have extra Lancer GL damage and you have reduced Lancer GL recoil to make it as easy as possible. Therefore you can get as many kills as possible in as little time as possible. Lancer Carnage, deal 150,000 damage with a Lancer. Again, for 5 stars. Quickest way to do this, I think, is to use the Veteran class, which used to be Marcus. Again, Overload, Horde, drop the fab, spawn with a Lancer, and just use the ultimate. They nerfed his ultimate to where it only lasts 40 seconds. You may not get all the damage in 40 seconds, but again, Horde Frenzy, so you have as many enemies as possible on Wave 1. Chainsaw kills count. You can just use chainsaw some of the Jubies or whatever's left over, and then start using his ultimate again to farm more damage, and that's how you can get that. It's pretty fast. You can get that in a wave on Master Horde, so definitely one of the easiest medal groups to max out in my opinion. 2,000 coins once you do that. Alrighty, we're going to move on to the escape category. There's 8 medals in here for 5,000 coins. First one is Boss Hunter. Now this one is a little tricky one. I do have footage explaining a quick way to get this. It says get 30 boss eliminations and escape. You get 6 stars for it. what I want to mention is wardens do not count. Um, I don't know why, but in Escape, wardens are not bosses. Uh, but stumps and flocks are, and so are snatchers and carriers and matriarchs. But there is a hive, exclusively a hive that has more stumps as a mutator that you can farm this metal on. It's called the trap. You want to run that mutator on, so it'll be on intermediate. It'll just be one mutator. What I would do is play as Kate's class, Infiltrator. You can get the Nasher from the middle safe room, the middle's pathway ammo room, or the Grenadiers that are sitting out there. Get a Nasher there. First act, there's usually a stomp right in the bit large room that you first encounter. Um, After the pathways kind of converge together. And then right before the safe room, there's two more stumps. So there's three, up to three in the first act, 2 to 3 depending on the RNG you pull. The second half, there's 3 stumps. One right outside the safe room, just a little bit further back, and then two in the large room prior to the end. What I would do here is in the second part, in the second chapter, the second half, kill the 3 stumps, die on purpose, and then rinse and repeat. Respawn, kill the 3 stumps, die again, kill the 3 stumps, die again. Keep doing it until you pull this, and then until you, on the bottom right screen, corner of the screen, you get the medal. It doesn't take more than 20-30 minutes, I think. But the trap on intermediate, more stumps mutator on to get that medal. Alright, DB Hunter, get 50 DB eliminations and escape. Rejects do count on this, so for 4 stars. So the corruption would be a great hive to get this on. The malfunction is a DB only hive, another great hive to do this on to farm those kills. Escape body count, get 1,000 eliminations in escape. You can get this naturally by playing a lot of escape, but the quickest way I think would be to do hives that have a lot of enemies. Onslaught comes to mind. The Detour has a lot, like almost an infinite spawn by the 3rd safe room towards the very end of the first chapter. The Warren has like 200 jubies, so there's several hives you can run. Those 3 I would suggest though, the Onslaught, the Warren, and you get that medal pretty quick as well. The Detour is the other one I was suggesting. Hive Master 5. Since there are no new hives in Operation 5, this medal is changed to where now all you gotta do is escape 10 hives on Master difficulty in Operation 5 for 5 stars. So this could be like an easy hive like the Clock, you could do that 10 times, or the Surge Master 10 times. That's a little harder, but the Descent Master, you can do it 10 times, or you can master whatever you want. Whatever hive you want 10 times. You can do 10 different hives once, or you can do the same hive 10 times, and that'll count. Escape attempts, survive 50 acts of escape, 4 stars. Quickest way to do that, I think, is the Descent on Insane. Just bring 2 buddies, I think it'll be easy. Easiest way, Descent's the only 3-act hive, so you have to run it 17 times to get that. Or, of course, Surge and Clock, the standard ways of boosting can also help get that as quick as possible. Hive Brothers, this one I know is bugged for a couple friends of mine I know, as well as me. It says survive 10 acts of escape as Anthony, Ben, or Clayton Carmine for 4 stars. One thing I do know is it has to be inconceivable or master difficulty, so like a Clock run, or a Descent run, or even an Incon Surge run will count. You have to just be one of those characters for 10 acts, so that's not more than 5 escape runs, so unless you do the Descent. So that'll get you that medal. New recruits have survived 10 acts of escape as Dizzy, Ty, or Anya. So when Operation 5 came out, those are the launch characters on the COG side. There's Scourge as well, but it's a sworn character. Locust. So you either can purchase those characters for coins, or in the tour, I believe you unlocked Hollow Storm Tie at Major 5, and you can use that. I use that skin to survive my 10 active escape. So that works for that. Last medal, Assault the Hive. So survive 30 active escape as Demolitions, Marksman, Blade Master, Nomad, or Infiltrator for 5 stars. So basically, you need to survive 30 chapters of escape or 30 acts as any of those classes. So you don't have to be all of them. You could be the same class the entire time, or any combination of either. Just 30 acts is one of those 5 classes. And yeah, so they'll be under the red category, under assault classes. So it'll be Blade Master, which used to be Lonnie, Demolitions, which used to be JD, Infiltrator, which used to be Kate, Marksman, which used to be Foz, Nomad, which used to be Paddock, to get that medal. And that'll pretty much sum up the escape medals. You get 5,000 coins for doing those as well. Alrighty, now on to the Horde medal group. First medal is Boss Hunter. It says eliminate 30 bosses in Horde. You get 6 stars for it. Best way to do this is just I got it naturally because I play a lot of Horde, Master Horde. Frenzy, you could do solo Frenzy, wave 4. Bring any DPS class like a Demolitions, Tactician, and just kill the boss on like Overload, easy map. 30 eliminations. Since it's Frenzy, you probably get 3 or 4 carriers or snatchers a wave. You can get that real quick that way. Collect 500,000 power in Horde, Power Hoarder, 4 stars. Being Infiltrator class helps a lot because, which used to be Kate, she's got cards like Long Reach, which gives you a 600% extra radius, which you can collect power. 500,000 power is quite a bit. You can get that in a couple of Horde games on Mastered. But if you did want to boost it, I would probably try like a Horde Wave 10 on beginner and like kill the boss with the Nasher, the bleeding shotgun damage as Infiltrator. You can get a decent chunk of power, kill some of the enemies, die, respawn, kill the boss again. That'd be a quick way to get that as well. Moving on to Horde Carnage, do 6 million damage in Horde. On Master, their Coalition's done a good job making most of the characters pretty powerful, so you can get this much damage as most characters. It's definitely a Demolitions and a Tactician. Even a good Foz or Marksman can get that much damage. Even Jack, I'd probably even Jack if they're sweaty and good enough with the hijack and the bleed cards can probably get that, so 5 stars for that. Horde body count, get 3,000 eliminations in Horde for 5 stars. Kind of goes in hand in hand with the Horde Carnage. Like if you get that much damage, you probably get that many eliminations. Eventually, you're just gonna get that by playing. I'm sure that you could boost it, but if you play enough Master Horde and play enough Demolitions or Tactician or Gunner or whatever class, Blade Master, you'll get your 3,000 eliminations. So, Way Survivor, survive 150 ways of Horde, 4 stars. 50 ways of Horde, basically run Master 3 times. You get that medal just without even trying. Yeah, that's all there is to say about that one. Delta 1, survive 60 ways of Horde as Marcus, Dom, Cold, Beard, or Min, 6 stars. You could play as any of those characters, any class. So yeah, you gotta do a whole Horde run and then maybe a Frenzy. That'd be 62 ways, and that'll count for that medal. 6 stars right there. Tank body count, so it gets 250 eliminations as Anchor, Gunner, Pilot, Veteran, or Brawler classes in Horde. So again, just like the similar medal in Escape, you don't have to play as all of those classes to get the elimination. You can play the same class, any one of those 5, and get 250 eliminations, and you'll get the 5 stars for it. So Anchor, Gunner, Pilot, Veteran, or Brawler, those are the tank classes in green, in blue here. Anchor, that used to be Mac. Brawler used to be Cole. Gunner is Clayton. Pilot was Lizzie, and then Veteran is Marcus. So those are your tank classes for that medal. And then the final medal is Anti-Air. It says get 75 Bastion or Guardian eliminations in Horde for 4 stars. The quickest way to get this, I don't really think there's an effective way to boost it. You could. Bastions typically spawn on wave 6 through 10, 6 through 9 on Juby and Leech waves, but I think if you play enough Demolitions or Tactician classes, basically JD or Keegan, you'll get that many Bastion or Guardian eliminations, so you get that through time. And then you'll get 5,000 coins for doing all the Horde medals, so that's this section. I'm going to move on to the next one. So here's a quick clip of me on Overload on Horde Frenzy Beginner Wave 1. Just running around and boosting Scorcher eliminations and Scorcher damage for the Weapons Medals category. Typically, this is a really good Horde map for boosting all the weapon kills. Close quarters, Fab in the middle, you can just get whatever weapon you want and boost. Right now I'm using the Scorcher. There's 100,000 damage medal. You can get that easily in a couple of waves on beginner. There's also the Enforcer eliminations, 100 elims with that. And then 100 elims with the Lancer GL and the Lancer. Those can be done easily with the Veteran class. The Tri-Shot eliminations, you can just pick that up and run as a Gunner class or Slugger or whatever heavy specialist class you want to choose and get that. I just buy it from the Fab and get that medal. The Boltok eliminations you can run as Anchor or Max class or Marksman or Foz's class. You can easily farm that in Horde and Escape. This is the perfect map for it, in my opinion, to farm all those medals. Just wanted to show some gameplay about that and how to get those medals efficiently. Alrighty guys, I've got some gameplay here showing you how I boosted the boss eliminations or boss kills in Escape for the Boss Hunter medal. So you want to load up the trap and put on the More Stumps Mutator. I would suggest running as Infiltrator or Cage class or a Brawler or Coles class for this. You want to put it More Stumps Mutator on, so the trap on intermediate and then load in the hive. Once you're loaded in, you want to go through the middle pathway. If you're playing as Infiltrator, which I'm playing right now, you want to kill the Grenadiers right down that middle pathway. You get the Nasher, and then once you kill these drones, you're going to run straight down into the large room this large room here where all the pathways converge. Typically in this room there's stumps, not always, but sometimes there is. In my case there is one, so I'm going to kill it and then just kill some of the nearby enemies, run past. And then once we go forward, there's going to be a hallway straight to the safe room, and then a path to the right which goes into an enclosed area with an ammo room there. We're going to go straight across and then kill the 2 stumps prior to the safe room there, so that's 3. So first one in that first part you may not always get, but you're guaranteed to have these 2 prior to the safe room. And once you get past the safe room, you're going to be fighting, before you fight any stumps, you're going to be fighting a Salvo Scion and like 2 or 3 elite hunters and elite grenadiers or elite drones depending on the RNG. As Infiltrator, you can just Nasher your way through them and overkill your way through them. And then take the middle pathway again, go up the ramp, grab some ammo in the ammo room if you need to. There'll be a stump right up that ramp on the right once you walk up. Take the ladder or the ramp. There'll be a stump right there. You can see I just kill it right there. Then you jump over the ramp. There's going to be 2 rejects. And then you're going to go down the ramp into this large room, large ventilation room prior to the end. I run my way up to the right. There's a salvo scion that I kill that gets in the way, a couple of drones. And then towards the back half of the room, there's going to be 2 stumps that I will also kill. So that totals 6 stumps total, 3 in the second half, guaranteed, with a mutator on. And then now that I killed all the stumps, I killed too many things actually. I'm going to pull the handle outside on the helipad and then intentionally die. And just kind of rinse and repeat this process until you get all 30 boss kills. Wardens don't count. They're armored scions, so in escape they don't count as bosses. Next best thing is stumps, so I think this is a good hive to boost that. Thank y'all.